What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about the Dead Space 2 remake again. Didn't plan this, when I recorded the video yesterday. We talked about motive. We talked about them opening up, basically a new team to do Battlefield. I still stand by what I said in that video. I would prefer you do like Iron Man and Dead Space versus Iron Man and Battlefield. It just, to me, it symbolizes or it kind of reflects probably EA at a higher level saying, hey, we need all hands on deck, and you're a talented team, and they are, and we need your help, to do Battlefield, so make a new team and help us out. I'm not a huge fan of that, but it is what it is. So, okay, that was yesterday. Turn the page to today. Now we got Jeff Grubb out there saying some very interesting things. Now, the issue is that he's being called out. He's being called out big time. EA responded to Jeff Grubb. So it's not technically unheard of. It has happened here and there, but to be honest with you, normally game companies keep their mouths shut. And honestly, I think of this when they come out and they say, no, what he's saying is not true. Okay, now you're saying, okay, you got to trust Jeff Grubb, or you have to trust EA. There might not be a great winner in that situation. So the way I look at it is I don't think EA would say anything if it was real or if it was true. I think something ticked them off in what Jeff Grubb said. And I've seen this kind of being floated around the internet. So Jeff Grubb kind of said two different things, right? He said Dead Space 2 remake was in the works. It was in the early stages, and then it was canceled. It was put aside because of low sales and kind of disappointing sales for Dead Space 1. That is what I believe made EA come out to say something. Now, whether Dead Space 1 did sell well, didn't sell well, whether there was a Dead Space 2, not a Dead Space 2, the fact that he said that, I think that's what got EA to come out. Because, look, there's rumors all the time on EA. There's rumors on WB. WB is pretty aggressive, right, with rumors. They'll strike those things down. There's rumors with PlayStation, Xbox, like every other day, right? Ubisoft gets a lot of them, and honestly, Ubisoft doesn't seem to care. And that's kind of important. In fact, Ubisoft gets rumors about them all the time, and you know what they do? They tend to leave them alone, and you know what the rumors end up being? Correct. Now, it could just be the way that I'm seeing things, right? Maybe I'm in a bubble, but we talk about rumors and leaks actually quite often on this channel, and a lot of them do end up being true. Well, it could be Capcom, it could be whatever. And normally, the company will not respond. They will not respond to a comment. The fact that EA comes out and says, nope. Now, they didn't specify what part of Jeff Grubb's tale was incorrect, right? They kind of just said the entire thing, or almost like a blanket statement, right? So again, did Dead Space not perform well? But they were never making Dead Space 2, so you can still say that, or was vice versa, right? That's kind of where I'm a little confused, but I'm willing to believe that this story was told to Jeff Grubb wrong, or, whatever source he has in the situation was wrong. We've talked about him in the past, and yeah, he gets some stuff right. The stuff that he gets wrong kind of lives in infamy. It's always going to kind of follow him. This might be another example. He did historically talk about KOTOR, and that. He said it was dead, and it's not dead, actually at all. So there's been a few things. He seemingly has gotten more wrong kind of recently, but he does get things right, plenty of things right. So I don't know, initially seeing it, I was like, yeah, I believe him. But the fact that EA comes out there, I want Dead Space 2 remake to happen, okay? I do find it kind of puzzling that, are they Jeff Grubb's story, is he saying they greenlit Dead Space 2 remake after they saw the slow sales of Dead Space 1, and then they canceled it because of those slow sales? Then why did you let it go at all, right? Wouldn't you have waited, saw that it wasn't doing well, and then said, no, we're just not going to do anything for Dead Space 2? You know what I mean? Why would you let it go and then pull it? Because, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And also, and this is in my heart of hearts, I want to believe that Dead Space 1 was not a failure. You know what I mean? The way he talked about it was that the game was a, disappointment sales-wise. God almighty, I hope not. Dead Space has had it rough, right? Dead Space 3 had it very rough, and since then, it's been dead. It's literally been gone. I thought, it's a bias, of course, but I think it's my own subjective opinion. I think Dead Space 1 Remake is a phenomenal game. I really believe that. It's one of the better games of last year, one of the better remakes with kind of messing with the formula, messing with what made the original game good, giving Isaac, a voice, and yet it's still good. Okay, so I think it did a lot of things right. It gives me confidence that Motive can do Iron Man. It gives me confidence that they could probably do Battlefield. It's just that I don't really know why they need to do Battlefield, right? But it gives me confidence in the studio, so that's part of it too. I want to believe that the Dead Space franchise isn't freaking cursed again, because if what he said is true, they were going to do it. Dead Space 1 just didn't sell. Therefore, will we ever get a Dead Space 2? I think we would. I don't know. Dead Space 1 and 2 did sell really well. 2 is my personal favorite. I think a Dead Space 2 remake in 3 to 6 years would actually do quite good. So I'm hoping he's wrong in the sense that it wasn't canceled, or maybe it never started in the first place, right? That would actually almost make me happier. If they never even started a Dead Space 2 remake, I think that would actually be better. They did Dead Space, then they did Iron Man, and then they're doing, and obviously different kind of departments in there, but if that's the way it went, I'd be actually more fine with it, because I wouldn't be a fan of them starting Dead Space 2 to only be told by EA, yep, stop it, go make Iron Man, and also now you're going to be handed the Battlefield franchise. I would prefer the first thing I said versus that one. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on. I hope to see you all on the next one.